Hi Gemini, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. So this is the members only extended for the 2020 preview. I'm excited to be here. I may post this for everybody in February, maybe March, just so they can see what you guys got to watch early, but not sure if I'll do that. So let's take a look at your reading. I have a feeling that these cards are very good, by the way. I've used them for 30 years, so they're really good cards. This deck, I mean, specifically, I have several Thoth decks. It's the first deck I read with, right? But this deck in particular has very clear readings. So normally, I mean, it has a lot of like energy. The shoulds are coming up. These hard realities are showing up in your reading. But having said that, I have a feeling, the reason I kept it, because I don't want to be disparaging, especially for a yearly reading, but it really looks like a transition from the swords to water. So you're finally getting those emotional relationships, and you need to let them trickle in, slowly start showing up in your life. I think you're making a conscious decision towards living a more compassionate life, and that is going to yield for you good outcomes. Ace of Cups, first message from the King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Closing of a relationship with a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, perhaps. But stable relationship that is changing the way of your circumstances. There's a certain stability around this person that yields all these changes because that shifted for you, and there's stability there. It affects other aspects of your life. It really affects the instability and the worry, and you're being forced to deal with those things so you can let them go and you can move on towards where you want to go with things. Okay. A Knight of Swords. Somebody told you something. Okay. Somebody told you something, but you had hoped it was not the truth. Somebody came into a confrontation. Somebody doesn't like your relationship and they're confronting it. And it's a sad reality for you to understand that your relationship, which is a part of you, is now not accepted from somebody. Do you see this? There's this Knight of Swords showing up everywhere, and he wants to fight. He could be a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, but he could be any sign, and it could be a woman, but somebody's really unsettled about whatever good thing has started in your life. See, I called it in the main reading. There's someone who's bothered, right, with what you have, and it's someone who is close to you, such as a family member or a friend, and it's time to sort of change things up, I think, because they're going to get in the way. So we have the Emperor. Again, I think conflict with family members over, it almost looks like you have a new partner and people don't like them. This is also kind of putting the pants on. I hate that saying because it's kind of misogynistic, but this is you sort of seeing other people not doing what they should be doing, and then you stepping in and putting on the pants and having to make those hard decisions. So that's for you. And then we have the Tower here. And this Queen of Wands, she helps you change some status quo things. She frees you from the Tower. I have a feeling that these Wands queens, they're showing up in readings a lot. I have a feeling that there's the fire signs, Sag, Leo, or Aries, will be very busy this year, kind of providing support for everybody else, providing like that kind of support that people need in order to change circumstances, in order to face the circumstances that are changing around them. This is rising up out of the mire. So rising up out of bad situations and heading towards greater success, removing yourself from something that's not working for you so that you can live somewhere or be in a situation that is good for you. And then we have the Hierophant, Queen of Cups, somebody from school, possibly. This is Taurus, sorry, ruled by Venus. Very, very supportive. You may meet them in church. You may meet them at another, like if you go to church, or if you, whatever faith you practice. This could be at your place of worship. That's what I should have said. On the bottom is the Empress. Okay. So I have a feeling that there's a real disintegration with the divine feminine energy for you, Gemini. I have a feeling that there's a change in the dynamics of the people around you, and I see very much that you want that to be different. You want that to in some way change or not be as it is. But some people, like I said, other people will have choices to make and behaviors to pursue that you're not in charge of. And I feel like they're not going to be so settled with the changes, and they're going to confront those changes. So you'll see direct blocks to what's changing. You have relationships that are starting in your life or becoming established as family relationships. You have you are taking up the stand as the emperor, especially if you're a woman. You're very much like becoming the person in charge. While this could actually mean like leaving behind a marriage for some of you, because this is the emperor position. They've got the tower, and then the female position has the emperor. So it's very much like that person you've been with maybe leaving the picture, and so you become that central part of the relationship. I'm not into nuclear families, but it is very much, I mean, if you have kids or whatever, it's, you know, you become the powerhouse in this. And it's not a surprise. So this isn't going to be coming around the corner. This is something that may have already happened, or it's unraveling now. And wonderful connection with this woman. I feel like she provides you strength. This woman, compassion, love, energy, support, mother-like energy. And I have a feeling that if you're in a relationship, that person is going to be challenged by the people around you, because they're changing the circumstances, and so people are getting nervous. So new beginning. I'm not going to do a pick a card for this option, but you see 3 doors, so maybe you can find cards and pick one of 3 cards and see what your options are. Somebody in your family needs help. This might be a change, a role reversal, where before they were helping others, now they're in need of help from others, so you'll be a part of that. The next message is the 7 of water. Okay, so this is Venus in Scorpio with the goldfish. Big dreams and work. Big dreams, big ideas, really hoping what you will achieve at work, what kind of success you will find at work, all those things. Then we have the King of Swords, again, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. You learn, I have a feeling, Gemini, you learn that you have to stand on your own here to make sure that you're safe in the long term financially, because somebody is too finicky. Somebody might be changing things up on you, and so the foundation that you're standing on may not be as firm as you believe it to be, or you had believed it to be in the past. There's a huge theme of you standing on your own, realizing that the things around you are not as stable or as dependable as you would like them to be. And I think that that's tied into the King of Swords, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, secondary transits in fire. The next message is the King of Pentacles. Again, I like the King of Pentacles for you guys this year. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, secondary transits in fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. One-on-one time with the person you love. It's showing up already as a theme. It feels like you have this relationship with one person and it's stable. So now, before you had it, you were subject to the instability of the people around you that kept on causing disruptions in your life, and this person is providing that stability. So the people around you that were not providing that support in the first place are getting like antsy. They keep acting up because they want you to fall back into the system that works for them. But you're sort of beginning a path with this King of Pentacles where you're sort of where you're sort of have that stability with someone else. So you're being challenged and he's being challenged because of, challenging that instability that they were profiting off, that they were getting benefit from before. And so now whoever it is that's acting up is acting up because they're just going to continue that. So don't fault for it, because if you do, and if you're not going to break up with the King of Pentacles, but I have a feeling if you did, then they would come in the same way and try to create the same system where they were taking advantage of you through their instability. That loop would begin. It wouldn't be more stable. Your stability comes from the King of Pentacles. Sorry if it's a bit of a tangent. Then we have the Ace of Swords together. Change of work, change of home. You know, big decision. I have a feeling that you might be moving in with someone even. Remember, the Aeon marks your whole year, which is the card of Pluto. And then we have the Seven of Swords, Seven of Air. Choosing the right path. Choosing the right path. Really assessing circumstances. Assessing everything and kind of getting out in time sort of idea. Or getting out because now you understand. Making a decision, getting out to understand. I have a really strong feeling that you're drawing separation between yourself and some of the people around you, especially those who have caused instability. Okay, so now the Mary L Tarot, which you guys know I love. Love, love, love. So first message is the Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. So the clarification for the Prince of Swords is you're willing to talk about it because it's involving, you know, water sign energy. This could be a child. It feels very much like working out custody issues. And maybe that's where the confrontation is, you know, your ex-partner and you have had a certain type of custody situation, and now it's being in some way challenged by your new stable relationship, and maybe you want more your kids with you more. Maybe you're moving this year somewhere far away, and so you want to take more custody, and so that's provoking like this change in circumstances for some of you, right? But there's someone who's bothered because you're motivated by your love for someone or love for something, and that's changing things in a relationship with someone from your past, and that's something you're going to address. Two of Pentacles next. So careful. Your business is a slow start. So whatever you're doing, or if at work, it's a slow start, but it's not a bad one. So keep doing what you're doing, and just it's continuing in the way that it started, but it's a very methodical and careful. And you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I truly believe that whatever you start off slow and methodically will have more stability than something you start fast. So I feel like that's a strong message for here, because I do feel like you may feel like something's not moving fast enough for you in terms of work, but trust me, this is the best way for it to develop. This is the best way. I think that the dreams you have for your business or for your work are so huge that it feels like it's never going to get there, but just keep working at it. You will do fine. Then we have the Strength card. Okay, change in a situation. This has to do with the ego and your self-respect and degradation. I think that there's a situation that you find degrading for yourself, and you want to step away from it as much as you can. Yeah, you feel degraded by a situation you're involved in. You want to step away from it as much as you can, Gemini. But I have a feeling that you're going to step away from it like quietly without confrontation. And you're going to be really not okay with something. Knight of Swords, it's this energy. You're going to feel really not okay with something because you'll find it degrading for you and what he proposes or what he is about. And that's going to be the disappointment, which is going to lead to the enlightenment. And through that, you'll understand. This person's got your back here, there, everywhere. And then we have the Hermit. Okay, so walking away from something, not caring about something so much. Again, maybe a Virgo sees you through, separating yourself from the things that are sort of dead to you now that you're finished with. And then we have the last Seven of Swords. Again, that's the same card as this, except slightly different in this deck. So right here, nervously making fast decisions without seeing them through. On the bottom is the King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, secondary transits in Fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. So again, it's the King of Pentacles, such a huge part of your life. Don't make nervous decisions because you want to stand against something that's established. Don't make hasty decisions to just make a decision fast. Don't get pushed into something. That's a huge message. Maybe some of this, all this restriction, maybe what this is saying, and I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but let me tell you what it's coming to me as. It seems as though maybe this situation, do you know when you meet someone and then suddenly everything around them is like in your life starts becoming crappy, and then when that person leaves, suddenly everything gets better? Make sure that this is not the person that is in some way feels like they're the antidote, whereas in fact they're the cause. And that doesn't mean that they're doing anything. It could be like the evil eye sort of thing. So it feels like, yeah, it could be like someone who, it could be like covert narcissism where somebody needs to be like the king, and so therefore everybody becomes a subject or an opponent. So it could be a little bit of that. So make sure you're not in that situation. It's either that person's your bedrock or that person is the problem, and you'll figure out what it is. But if you're making hasty, the reason I'm saying this now is because it looks like this hasty decision is somehow connected with him, and it feels like maybe like moving in together because he's pressuring you to, and you think that's a good thing, but maybe it's not necessarily the best thing, and maybe that's why everything's up in arms too. So I think you need to think carefully about the things that are going on around you, because think very critically and carefully about the things going around you, because things are not what they seem this year for you, Gemini, at all. I don't think it's about seeing through circumstances and seeing the truth through circumstances and moving away from things that are emotionally triggering you. Here is some clarity for the last line. We have the Two of Swords, which is Moon in Libra. So in peace, the Knight of Swords is, there is a peace, there is a change in the situation, moving on. I feel as though there's a conflict of interest transitioning from the swords towards the water energy. I have a feeling that this person, when you like someone and you just first meet them and you give them way too much energy and that affects other aspects of your life, what if he's feeding into it? And he's enjoying you pampering them and, worrying about them and all this stuff. But maybe the answer is like in your own strength, because maybe your partner is the King of Cups and not the King of Pentacles. Here is the next message. We have the Seven of Swords. Again, it says get out of there quick, right? Moon in Aquarius. My moon's in Aquarius, Gemini, saying get out of there quick. I think this is the new project that you're working on that's very, very slow to start. This is going to be where you transition to. I think it's saying that you need to get out of a situation that you're involved in terms of work especially, as it's not what it's cut out to be, or that Jenga tower starting to fall. So before it falls, you want to kind of get out of there, or remove your situation. And it's saying that there is a job for you. There is something for you to focus on. Then we have the Six of Cups, Sun in Scorpio. Someone from the past, a secret admirer, sending you love notes and messages, connecting with you, talking about the past. Secret feelings. Maybe all of these people acting up have secret feelings for you. Passive aggressive communication. Then you have the Nine of Wands, Sun in Sagittarius. Okay, Sun in Sagittarius. I have to say that by November, this is going to piss you guys off, but I think that you guys are going to be busy until November with work, like heavy, lots of work to do. Work without seeing the end of it, but I think you'll get through it, and just trust me, by November you will be very, very satisfied. That's going to take you away from a lot of social things. You will not have time for socializing too much this year. It's going to be very focused on this kind of grinding away at something that you want to achieve, and then seeing the fruits of your labor only at the end of the year. But not like you'll be struggling before. It's just your energy is gonna be very focused on work. And the feeling that's very clear is that You know, like, when is this going to end? Or like, am I actually getting anywhere with this? Yes, but very slowly, and you need to remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then you have the Lovers. I think that's your partner. That's Gemini. I think that's your partner. I think this is it. So I'm the best psychic in the world if this is your partner, huh? So yeah, somebody's gonna make a bold gesture. Wait, if this is your current partner, maybe enjoy it for now and know that there may be something else. On the bottom, you have the Sun. That's a very good omen. This started off as like a pretty terrible reading, actually. Not terrible, but like full of problems and issues. But I think it's quite okay. I think your year is quite good. And I think that you have to go through all these different things on your own and like think which applies to your situation. Do you have a partner that's, you know, feels like they have everything going, but essentially maybe they are just making things comfortable for themselves, and you don't want to like wake up one day and realize that that's happened to you, that they weren't really there for you, that they were just very convenient in a situation for you, and that you lost a lot of contacts because of your relationship. Think about that before you go in too deep. But I do feel like there's a transition from the air to the water towards much more loving and tolerant energy by the end of the year. Just do all your work, Gemini. I'm sure you're going to do great. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will talk with you soon. And Happy New Year. Thanks for being members. Take care. Bye.